What's the most disrespectful thing a teacher ever did to you? Back in high school, I had this physics teacher. We'll call him Mr. Blake, who honestly had no business teaching. He was the kind of guy who thought every question was a challenge to his authority. And if you actually knew something he didn't, he took it personally. Now, I wasn't some genius, but I loved physics. I used to study ahead just because it fascinated me. So sometimes I'd ask questions that went a bit deeper than what we were covering. Not in a smug way, just curious. But Mr. Blake hated that. You could see it in his face every time I raised my hand, like I was ruining his lesson plan by learning. One day, we're reviewing Newton's laws, and I mentioned something about how they start to break down at relativistic speeds, stuff I read about from a college-level physics book. He goes, "That's not accurate. Don't try to confuse the class with nonsense." I politely explained that I could show him the source. He snapped, "If you think you're so smart, maybe you should be teaching the class." The whole room went dead silent. I just said, "I'm not trying to show off. I just thought it was relevant." He ignored me and moved on, but from that point forward, he had it out for me. My lab report started getting marked down with no explanation. He stopped calling on me, gave me a 0 on a quiz because he said I talked during the test, even though the entire class knew I didn't. When I tried to talk to him after class, he just waved me off and said I had a bad attitude. So I started documenting everything: dates, grades, assignments, even comments from other students who noticed. I brought it to my guidance counselor, who brought it to the vice principal. They were skeptical at first. Mr. Blake had been teaching for over a decade, but I had receipts. They launched a quiet investigation. Turns out I wasn't the first student he'd tried to sabotage. One girl from 2 years before had her college recommendation accidentally misplaced. Another guy got mysteriously accused of plagiarism. Long story short, they reassigned him to a non-teaching role by the end of the semester. I ended up finishing with an A in the class after my grades were audited. Mr. Blake didn't say a word to me the day I walked out for the last time, but I left a sticky note on my desk that said, "If you're scared of students being smarter than you, maybe you should go back to school." Petty? Maybe. But after 6 months of silent war, it felt earned.